Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Rick's getting a lot of pushback on his stance regarding Leo Messi coming to BC Place.
Shots are fired.
It's actually me that's getting the
you are the one getting ripped,
back.
Not me.
Hey, listen, we came up with a compromise. Okay, Messi, if a game is scheduled for Vancouver, doesn't want to play on turf, he should at that stage of his career. His job is to promote the product. Then don't play, but come and shake hands, kiss babies, and promote the product.
Do interviews.
Maybe don't play. Yeah,
do interviews.
Okay. I could go on. Hey, what about Miami right now? That area of Florida?
Hot
so
spot.
you've got the Miami Heat doing what they're doing. Same with the Florida Panthers. And now the news about Messi. The epicenter of sports globally right now. George Richards covers the Panthers for Florida Hockey Now. The Panthers, of course, down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final to Vegas Game 3 tomorrow in Sunrise. And George joins us now. George, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm good. You forgot about the Miami Marlins. Forget about the soccer team. The Marlins have won 5 straight. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give them some love. Give them some love.
Hot
How you
spot.
doing?
I can't imagine what the sports buzz is like in Miami right now, George.
It's pretty nuts right now. I mean, everybody, I mean, the news broke today about Messi and playing up in Fort Lauderdale with the Inter Miami team. And you've got the Panthers today had practice, and Vegas practiced as well. So, and the Heat game is, game 3 for the Miami Heat tonight is down in Miami. So it's been crazy, especially with the Heat and the Panthers kind of alternating nights. It's been a lot of fun. It really has.
Hey, George, 0-2 deficit aside, what has this playoff run done for the Florida Panthers, for that franchise in that part of the world?
I think it's been extremely important because, for so long the narrative was always same old Panthers, right? They get into the playoffs, they get beat by some, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was always, they were losing to the Islanders in 6, or they'd lose, they get swept by Tampa Bay. So for them to come in as the underdogs and to take out Boston the way they did in Game 7, winning 2 overtime games with their season on the line, and then you take out Toronto and you take out Carolina in 9 games. People are all over this now, and it is, this is a big event town. We're not going to pretend that this is Hamilton, Ontario. It's not. This is not a hockey central, but it is a big event town, and people like a winner, and that's been the problem with the Panthers drawing fans down here for so long. They just haven't won, and not only haven't won, but lost in ugly fashion for a long time. And now you see the progression. You see a team that's been in the postseason 4 straight years, and they're building something. The Miami Heat can do no wrong down here because they've been consistent winners, right? I mean, they have 1 losing record. They missed the playoffs. Nobody cares because they know Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra are going to get it right. Now down here, you're starting to get that with the Panthers ownership, with Bill Zito, and so forth. So there is a lot of goodwill being built here.
Well, I'll tell you this. People here in Vancouver and Canuck Nation jealous of the way the Panthers play hockey. They have a lot of edge, and it's impressive to watch. What's your takeaway, though, from the 2 impressive Vegas victories in Nevada?
Yeah. Well, Florida's aggressiveness hasn't helped them. It doesn't look like in Game 2. Game 1. It was okay. Game 2, they look like the bullies on the schoolyard who got popped in the nose and didn't really know how to react. Vegas isn't taking any garbage. They're big. They're strong. Vegas doesn't mind playing in the mud a little bit, but then they're going to steamroll through you. So the Panthers are going to have to figure this out. They're going to have to figure out how to keep Vegas from coming in off the rush. They're going to have to figure out how to get in front of the net and challenge Aiden Hill a little bit more than they've done. And they've got to, land their hits. I mean, you saw it in Game 2 in the first period. Radko Gudas goes to lay out Barbashev, and he gets laid out himself. So the Panthers need to connect on those hits. If you're going to go for it, you got to hit it. You got to do it.
George Matthew Tkachuk, 3 10-minute misconducts in the first 2 games, 36 minutes in penalties. He's in the box way too much. They need him on the ice. George, no goals. He had 3 game winners against Carolina and was on the ice, assisted on the 4th one. He's got to stay out of the box.
Yeah, but I mean, both those games were out of control by then. I mean, It was 4-2 with 6 minutes left in game 1 when he got his 10-minute, and then it was 4-0, 6-2, whatever it was when he got the other ones. So, yes, he does have to stay out of the box. The Panthers need to stay out of the box completely because you got Jonathan Marchessault absolutely killing them on the power play. So stay out of the box. But those 10-minute misconducts on Tkachuk, the game was out of hand at the time, so it didn't really hurt him. It hurt his stats. It hurt his time on ice. That's about it.
Yeah, I see Paul Maurice did take a little bit of a shot today, saying, you know what, he's got to stay out of the box the 10 minutes. Sergei Bobrovsky, are you surprised? What's going on there?
As far as his strong playoff or
yeah, well, just the first 2 games, getting chased last game, 4 goals, 14 shots, and he was so good, especially against Carolina and Toronto.
He really was. Right, and he got a lot of help from his defense, right? And he said so. Sergei Bobrovsky has been he's been very thankful for the Florida defense in front of him, especially against Toronto and Carolina. He gives up some rebounds. You didn't see any of them into a danger zone. Everything was cleared up. The Panthers didn't allow any odd man rushes, very few anyhow. Not the case against Vegas. Sergei gave up 4 goals in just over 2 periods of play. I don't think any of them were his fault. He got screened by his own guys. You've got defensemen just running around like they don't know what they're doing. That was a mercy pull by Paul Maurice. That was just to get Bob out of there because you could see the frustration. And Sergei, they hung him out to dry, plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that buzz going to be like tonight? What's the atmosphere going to be like? Not tonight, but tomorrow night in Sunrise, George.
Well, tonight in Miami, it'll be big. And then tomorrow, it's going to be huge. We were just at the arena, and it's all getting gussied up with all the final stuff. And people are excited. People are extremely excited for this. It's been a long time coming. This will be the first Stanley Cup final for this town since 1996 when they played in Miami. So this is the first final game in this building here in Sunrise, a building that's 25 years old or whatever. So it has been a long time coming for the Florida Panthers and their fans. And up until last year when they beat Washington, they hadn't won a single playoff series since 1996. And now you see them going 1 step, 2 steps further every year. So like we talked about earlier, a lot of goodwill being built here in South Florida with the Panthers.
Just make sure Uwe Krupp doesn't show up tonight, George.
Right. Yeah. He's a kid, especially when you get into that second overtime. He'll get you.
There you go. George, thanks for this. Appreciate it. We'll get you back on.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
You bet. George Richards from Florida Hockey Now. For